Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, October 22. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie says all infirmaries and homes for senior citizens have been placed on high alert and given strict instructions to adhere to the existing COVID-19 protocols to prevent infection among their vulnerable populations. His statement comes after the local government and health ministries this week discovered a cluster of coronavirus cases at the Golden Age home in Vineyard Town. Up to Tuesday, 43 residents and 3 staff members had tested positive for the virus. Testing continues for all 428 residents and 162 staff members. Minister McKenzie says investigations are now underway to uncover what caused the breakdown in protocols that would have allowed this cluster of infections to occur at the home. He reported that outside of the Vineyard Town cluster, there were only 5 COVID-19 cases in the 14 infirmaries across the island, and only one of those patients remains in hospital. In the meantime, the Ministry of Health and Wellness will be closely monitoring the Vineyard Town Golden Age home over the next 14 to 21 days to bring the situation under control. During his ministry's press conference yesterday, Minister Christopher Tufton outlined measures to contain the spread of COVID-19 at the facility.
Firstly, restricted movement between the various residential areas at the home, strict enforcement of the no visitor rule, strict adherence to infection prevention and control measures, and there will also be strict adherence to mask wearing at all times.
He reiterated that government was fast-tracking the testing for others at the facility, while a team of caregivers has been identified to provide the necessary care for residents of the home. Persons awaiting results from their tests have been put in quarantine, and those who become symptomatic and in need of hospital care will be transferred to an institution. The first positive case was confirmed on October 15 after a 73-year-old resident became symptomatic and was admitted to the Kingston Public Hospital and tested. Contact tracing identified the other cases, which are all confined to one area of the Golden Age home. In other news, students at 3 schools in Western Jamaica are among the latest to receive tablets from the Ministry of Education in partnership with eLearning Jamaica. 19 tablets were recently presented to Barrett Town Primary, Johns Hall Primary received 70, and 62 were distributed to the Glendavon Primary and Junior High School. The tablets are for students in grades 4, 5, and 6 who are enrolled on the Program of Advancement through Health and Education, PATH.
We are in a pandemic. We're not in normal times. We have to do things differently. We have to engage our students differently. We are on a path, a technology path that's irreversible.
The Education Ministry is in the process of distributing 40,000 tablets to students on PATH to augment the 18,000 tablets and 12,000 desktop computers already in the school system. Minister Favour Williams says provisions are also being made for 4,000 special needs students to receive specially designed equipment so they can participate in the digital learning process. Meanwhile, the Universal Service Fund, USF, will be embarking on a program in short order to help students access the internet to participate in classes online. Chief Executive Officer of the USF, Daniel Dawes, made the announcement recently.
The newest of our strategy is to go inside the communities based on the COVID experience. Students not able to go to school, so we want to go inside the communities to see how best we can provide internet where the students can have access to do their online schooling.
Mr. Dawes was addressing a recent function where the USF handed over ICT devices to the Western Regional Health Authority. The devices, valued at $2.8 million, will serve to modernize the authority's patient management system, thereby improving client service delivery. Official data released by the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Statin, has confirmed an 18.4% decline in the economy for the April to June quarter of this year when compared with the same period in 2019. According to Statin's Director General, Carl Coy, the decline was impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic and the measures adopted island-wide to control its spread. These include travel restrictions, closure of schools, churches, places of amusement and bars, as well as the cancellation of entertainment events. Economic growth was also impacted by the work-from-home option, implementation of a quarantine in St. Catherine and sections of St. Thomas and St. Mary, along with nightly curfew across the island.
These measures significantly impacted areas of the economy such as the tourist-related activities, transportation, commerce, recreation, and culture. Other factors that contributed to the decline in the economy were the drought conditions, which affected the agriculture, forestry, and fishing industry, and the continued closure of the Gisco Alpart, which negatively impacted the mining and quarrying industry.
COVID's impact on the economy is one of the factors that prompted governments to reopen the country's borders, encourage employers to maintain the work-from-home option while making their work environment safer, even as national infection prevention control measures continue to be implemented. And finally, the Senate has now passed the legislation that will soon allow Jamaicans to experience a simplified authentication process for local documents intended for use overseas and for the recognition of foreign documents intended for use in Jamaica. The Authentication Foreign Public Documents Bill 2020, which was passed in the House of Representatives on October 6, received the Senate's backing during its sitting on Friday. Currently, some documents needed for use overseas require verification through a process known as authentication or legislation before they are accepted for use. Under the new bill, certain local documents can be authenticated in international countries. These include birth, marriage, and death certificates, decrees for the dissolution of marriages, excerpts from official public records and registrars, and medical and health certificates. Leader of Government Business in the Upper House, Kamina Johnson-Smith, who piloted the bill on Friday, says it will have far-reaching impact on the ease of doing business.
So we get a sense of the breadth of positive impact that the passage of this bill and Jamaica's accession to the convention will have in terms of people who are seeking to do ordinary business, whether to have their children go to school, whether to explore an opportunity overseas, or for indeed our diaspora to do business here, or for other non-nationals to do business here. It is about global connectivity and effectiveness in participating in the global system.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.